Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, and welcome to Martyn Lucas Investor. As you know, I don't normally go live on a Sunday, but when there's big news and things to alert all of our members about, then I do. This is only the second time in history in 3 years where I've done so. So I am here with you this afternoon. It's a special event, SMCI and NVIDIA we are looking at. So the studio is green because, as you can see, I've got an all-time high. I'm $400 away from another all-time high. 132,000 is my all-time high. I've got a very strong position of Coca-Cola now, waiting for January the 1st to buy some more. But we are talking about Supermicro Computer. I've got an interview with Jensen Huang. I've got some news, updated information. Plus, we've got an extra 24-hour service now, which we're testing out on the Extra channel, which runs with all kinds of different scenes and information, live analysis for Bitcoin, the greed indicators, the buy indicators, plus a streaming radio show so you can listen to all the latest news updates, and there'll be opportunity to sponsor the 24-hour stream and all kinds of stuff. So there's a lot of new stuff coming to the show. You'll notice the ticker now includes NVIDIA. If you look below here, if you are one of our members and you do a super chat, you can actually have your favorite ticker added to this as well. As you can see, we've added Plug as well, VU and others, and these will update, of course, during the opening hours, not yet. Virgin Galactic was asked to be put on there, as you can see, and if you do a super chat, yours can be added if you are a member. Right, without further ado, let's get straight into it. Please do click subscribe and ring the bell. As I say, this is a special show, a Sunday show. I don't normally do these. This is my time off, but I want to bring you some updated news, which will then take you into SENSEI's show for you, which is live in 55 minutes, where he'll be doing all the charts for these stocks, and you can then ask him to go over the technicals with you. So without further ado, let's get straight into it. I've got some headlines I want to share with you. First of all, super up-to-daisy. For some reason, that's changed screen. It's a live show. The technical issues happen. Let me change the screen. Just bear with me. It should change to the correct screen. No, that's not the correct screen. We'll try that again. We'll get it right in a moment. And secondary, there you go. I've got a lot of screens around the studio, 14 screens actually. Anyway, thank you, Abol Fazi, for your subscription. So one of the headlines is Supermicro Computer up 78% this week. What has changed since auditor exit? We'll cover that. Also, we've got trending stocks amid largely steady week for Wall Street. I've also got Blackwell chips update. These are all news just out in the last few hours. Over 70% of the S&P 500 companies that reported earnings this week beat earnings scorecard. We're looking at that. Plus, I have some interviews and stuff. So sit back and relax. It's going to be 40 minutes or so of live news on Supermicro Computer and the upcoming week, and NVIDIA as well. All right. Okay. So good evening. Welcome, everybody. Let's see who's here. Good evening, Martin. Hello, hello, hello. Doug Harding, let's go. MSTR adding to QQQ November 29th. Thank you, Kim Srun Heng. Good evening, Martin, from Dylan Wilson. All right. Without further ado, then, let's get to our first news story. Okay, let's get straight into our first news story. So I'm going to start with this. Some news on Supermicro Computer. Let's have a little think about what happened and where we see it going next week. So without further ado, let's make a start with our news.
And this isn't like Joe's CPAs. This is Ernst & Young.
This is a big deal.
Resigning. And this does not happen often at all. So what's Ernst & Young saying about why they resigned?
Very important.
Well, in the AK filing, essentially Ernst & Young is saying that there were some differences of opinion, and they didn't think that there was enough transparency from the auditor committee, as well as integrity issues from the auditor committee. So look, quite.
Very, very important. This has been talked about a lot. We're talking about not enough transparency. not all out fraud or anything particularly wrong, but not enough transparency. It's very, very important. Now, of course, the stock is bouncing back. Was it an opportunity? Let's learn more and look at the news now.
Quite frankly, it's the first time I've ever seen language like that. And the other thing that I can state is that, Ernst & Young is the second auditor that Supermicro had in a span of 18 months. So they were supposed to clean up the issues from the prior auditor, and it sounds like they found issues that just couldn't be.
Let's remind ourselves as well, this is the second time this has happened. This is not the first time this has happened.
Resolved.
And of course, the resignation comes after news broke last month that the DOJ had launched a probe into an ex-employee's claims that Supermicro actually violated accounting rules. What do we know so far about how many different issues there are kind of more broadly when it comes to this company?
Yeah, so not much news has come out of the DOJ probe. But it is bringing up some older issues that caused their delisting roughly 3 to 4 years back. Essentially, they were very aggressive on their accounting side, and it seems as if, based on a short report that came out in July, it seems as if they went back to their old ways.
Let me put a poll in the chat. Let's do this live for you now. I'll share this with you on the screen as I do it. So let me just bring this up and let's get a reaction, because we're looking at where the stock is going to go next week, or this week, starting tonight. So let me go straight to the homepage and show you how we do this. We have a community tab. We like to call this the Lucas Archie. It's like the Fibonacci, but it's proven extremely reliable in how people feel about the stock. So we've had a week of all this drama. How are you feeling now? We've got much more news to bring you. Of course, we've only just started, but I'm going to start this poll and see how you react during it. So SMCI, let's ask you this question. Are you now bullish or bearish on the stock? I want to see how you feel about it now. All right. Was it just a mistake? Oops, a daisy. Let me just go back to there. I'm doing all this live, of course, unedited. Are you bullish or bearish on the stock? Let's go down here and then simply put in the SMCI, and I'll also these rank. By the way, these polls rank on Google. By the way. So they're very useful polls, beg your pardon. So there we go. Are you now bullish or bearish on the stock? I better put SMCI stock, so Google can pick it up. And Super Micro Computer. Okay. Computer. Do you see it as an opportunity? So image poll. Let's have a look. We'll add your bullish. You're okay with this, bearish, you're not too happy, or undecided. There you go. And I'll share with you some of my NFTs as well. So I'll go into here, Ecam Live, emojis, Martin Lucas Investor. Let's go bullish, and we'll go bearish, or undecided, yes or no, you're not sure. Okay, I'm now going to add that to today's show. That's now the latest poll on the top. Let me zoom in, give everybody the link to it on the homepage of our community tab, and we'll see how it goes. Let me give everyone the link, and we shall, I prefer you not to vote for the next few minutes until I've given you all the information you need. So please don't vote just yet. It'd be nice if you just stand by to vote. Let's just get through the information, and then we can pick this up. So let's hear some more information from here, and then I'm going to bring you some other new information as well. Lots to bring you this afternoon. So stand by. Here we go. Let's continue this. Not just a minor issue, is it?
Woods, just as an outside observer here, I see a story like this, and I say I need change at the board level. And I need change in the C-suite level. Are you hearing calls from some of their shareholders for some types of moves like that?
Well, that's how we titled our React report. It's like, look, Supermicro needs more than an auditor change to fix this. We were concerned about their corporate governance. If you keep in mind that there aren't many independent board members, one of whom includes the wife of the CEO, there really needs to be a lot more independence on the board. And quite frankly, given the now growing concerns of financial malfeasance, I think the CFO has to go, and if they can't clean this up, there might be a need for a change at the top.
Paul mentioned the stocks ping that we've been seeing in it so far today, down over 30%, on pace for its worst day since October of 2018. From a technical perspective, how much more pain do you think there is to run here?
Well, the question is
of course, this was a couple of days ago. We're going to bring you up to date in a moment.
I do think that the revenues are real. I don't know how real the profitability may be, right? Because there are multiple ways to probably manipulate the numbers. The one thing that we wrote is that the near-term deals are probably intact because it's really tough to switch vendors for an AI deal. But longer term, there are going to be downs in terms of order activity and working with Supermicro. So it's going to be the future outlook going forward that could be at risk and could drive the stock going forward. There's been some.
There we go. Okay, now we've got a next news story, so we're going to start bringing you up to date now. We won't go back to the poll just yet. I want to see how you feel at the end of this video, how you feel, whether you are bullish, bearish on the stock. I've also got some news related to this as well from Jensen Huang, interview out just last night. So I'm going to share that with you. But I'm now going to bring you this news story here. I want to read this to you. This is important. Now then, some of this information is only available to me because I'm a pro customer on Seeking Alpha and AlphaSpread. I know the CEO of AlphaSpread, and I have an arrangement with Seeking Alpha. If you want any of my referrals, there they are. Without a referral, you don't get a discount. You don't get the free trials. AlphaSpread, Seeking Alpha. You should strongly consider that right now, as you've got the free trials, all the discounts, and of course, Black Friday deals. So take advantage. It's in the chat. It's also below the video. When I post this later, you'll see it in the description of this video. In fact, it's in the description of this video right now if you just look below. But when this video comes out, you'll see it in that. Anyway, let's get to this. Supermicro Computer up 78% this week. What has changed since the auditor's exit? So what has happened and why is everyone buying? Let's have a look. Well, it's not just Supermicro Computer. There are other stocks that have helped make this move, and we'll talk about that in a moment. Anyway, if you are new here, please do tap the like button and consider subscribing to the channel. If you do a super chat on the screen, it will read out your comment over $1.99, so you can have your say and be on the video forever. Supermicro Computer jumped over 78% this week after this artificial intelligence server maker appointed BDO USA as its new independent auditor and submitted a compliance plan with the NASDAQ. Shares of the San Jose, California-based firm slumped 47% in 4 back-to-back sessions of losses over the end of October and the start of November, and its former auditor, Ernst & Young, resigned, citing concerns over the company's governance, transparency, and internal control measures. Having become a component of the S&P 500, in March, today the stock has lost over $50 billion in market cap. See here for a timeline of major events that contributed to that huge decline. The company earlier this month, excuse me, reported better than expected preliminary earning figures for Q1 fiscal 25, though its Q2 guidance came into below consensus. Meanwhile, following several SEC disclosures to delay its 10K filing and seek additional time to select a new auditor, the stock hit a 52-week low on November the 15th. Now, it's really important to mention this. It's really important. Having had the privilege to interview many CEOs on my show, I had a world exclusive a couple of days ago, and I've got something coming up next week as well. One thing I've learned is, as retail investors, we think if a business exists on an app that we can press buttons to, it must be right. It must be legit. It must be, holier than thou. And what can possibly go wrong? Well, reality is, people, that's the problem. You might have a great business, a great product, but somebody at the company could let the side down. Remember, it's down to people. If people are lazy, don't get up, they're lost motivation. Imagine trying to motivate Jensen Huang. The guy's a multi-gazillionaire. You know, money isn't going to motivate him anymore. It's internal. So you could have a great business, but they could be let down by bad management. Something goes wrong at the company. It still might be a good company. Just need to remember that just because there's issues like this doesn't mean the company is no good and rubbish. It just means somebody or a bunch of people aren't performing as they should and be replaced and so on. You might still have a great opportunity to buy a great business on this huge discount. Anyway, you never know. It could have been done on purpose. It's the second time. Supermicro has bounced back strongly this week since then, as analysts reacted positively to BDO USA's appointment as its new auditor. Seeking Alpha investing group leader JR Research argued that BDO's appointment is expected to have a profound near-term uplift for SMCI, potentially lowering the risk of a NASDAQ delisting. Although BDO USA is not part of the Big Four, it's assessed to have the necessary capabilities to audit Supermicro Computer's global operations. JR Research added in Supermicro Computer, bargain buying opportunity has finally arrived. SA Investment Group leader Henrik Alex agreed, while not as large as market leaders Deloitte, EY, PwC and KPMG, BDO certainly has the capabilities and resources to conduct an expedited audit of the company's full year 2024 financial statements, Alex wrote in Supermicro Computer. Anyway, however, just finally wrapping this up, I'm not going to read any more. I've got so much to share with you. We've got an interview with Jensen Huang coming up as well. However, with only a 17% gain this year, Supermicro continues to underperform its bigger competitors, Dell Technologies and Hewlett-Packard. According to Seeking Alpha analyst Hataf Capital, the stock offers a compelling risk-reward opportunity. There is room for further upside in the company if the company successfully addresses its regulatory challenges and continues executing on its growth strategy, Hataf Capital wrote. Okay, I've got some more news for you now, which I want to share with you. So let's bring up my next part. I've got another story here for you, which I want to share with you. We've got Jensen Huang waiting in the wings as well. I've got two different things. I've got some information, first of all, about next week's performance of the reaction to NVIDIA. I like to bring these two stocks together because they certainly do affect each other because of the way retail investors react to all this news. But anyway, let me bring you this. This is just out a few hours ago about NVIDIA. Then I'll swing back. I'm doing what's it? Donald Trump says he pivots. He swerves in and out. Okay, I'm going to swerve in and out with this information. Are you ready? Listen in.
Portfolio manager at Niles Investment Management. And I don't know if you saw, there was a tweet this morning from Larry McDonald talking about
just
this is
your
live. Average $250 billion pre-market trading change, right?
This is live.
That's literally how much
says
the
it's
stock
live
has
under the
moved
video, so
in a
it's
morning.
live.
What do you make of it?
Well, I mean, if the guidance had been given in a vacuum, the stock would be getting killed. But what really saved them is commentary during the call and from the CFO. And there were two things. They said,
Now, just before we hear from this point, and we're going to swing back to NVIDIA SMCI in a moment, people have often said Jensen Huang and his team are the best salesmen in the business. So it's worth noting that. I do want to mention to people are asking, is this live? It's live because it says it's live. There are two kinds of lives. Live premiere, it says live premiere. That's when it's a recorded video being aired for the first time. Or it says live, and the icon of the channel has got a red ring around it. It says live on the home page of the channel. So everything about this is live. Yes, I am here reading out your name, and the only way it can say live on like this, live, you've got a red ring. Mine doesn't show that because it's my channel, obviously, but live is written here. That's how you know this is live. So be under no illusion. This is live, and I'm talking to you live. Okay, makes sense? Let's carry on. And I've got some more. I've got an interview with Jensen as well.
Number one, Blackwell shipments are expected to exceed initial expectations. So people were very excited about that. That's their newest chip. But the really big thing was they said, we expect demand to exceed supply.
Please tap the like button. Let's get to 100 likes.
Not one or two, but several quarters in
Share this
fiscal
news
26. So if you want to, believe the dream, that means that they just reset the bar lower. Things are going to accelerate as you go into next year. And so, you're in a really great seasonal time of year for stocks. And so people just want to believe in the Santa Claus rally, and stocks.
Does that mean you're a believer? And what's the explanation then for the stock move?
I do believe we've got 5 to 10% left this year. Santa rally is coming. However, as you know, I sold my S&P on my Roth, bought Coca-Cola because I think there's a greater gain in that. Then we start going sideways. I can make more money on my Coca-Cola from where it was with the dip, about 15 to 20% from where it was, then buy back the S&P. That is my strategy, and it's working because, as you can see here, I'm $400 off an all-time high, even though the Coca-Cola dropped further. 132 is my all-time high. Please, everyone, tap the like button. Trying to get to 100 likes so YouTube will suggest this video out. We've got 37 likes, 164 watching. Let's listen in. I need the rest of this. We've got to carry on because we've got Sensei's show, just half an hour for all the charts. Here we go.
Our friend Kramer, who will be coming up in just a couple minutes, he put out a thing this morning saying the early morning shorts who sought to paint the tape negative for NVIDIA now up against 7 large price target raises. So there were 7 analysts now who've raised it. He said that the whole idea that they missed guidance is a canard. It's bogus.
Well, I respect Jim a lot, but at the end of the day, out of the 59 analysts or so that have buy ratings on this, not one of them said, well, we think they're going to raise estimates by 1% for the upcoming quarter. So here's the thing. There's a short term and the long term. In the short term, as I said earlier, Andrew, people want to believe. It's that time of year. It's the Santa Claus rally. It's the best 3 months for stocks. You have an incoming administration that wants to cut taxes and deregulate. So you look at NVIDIA, and they're telling you demand's going to exceed supply for the next several quarters in 2020 for next year.
Right.
So if you're a believer, you want to believe that. But there's no question that the guidance was below expectations, which is why the stock was down.
It sounds like you're the Grinch then. So then the question is, if you don't want to buy into NVIDIA at these prices, which sounds like you don't, what would you spend your money on? And would you?
I want to be absolutely clear on my position with NVIDIA. I own about $14,000-$15,000 of it through the S&P 500 by default. NVIDIA, in my opinion, and I've said it, and I always go live and make my points very clear. This is my real money. I don't do options. I don't do shorts. I said it would hit at 140 when it did, and it did. I believe it's going to 200. That's a conservative estimate. I don't trade this. I don't trade this because I don't trade the S&P. I own this. I own NVIDIA. It's the second biggest part of the S&P, of course. I believe this is not a trading stock. Absolutely. I do not want to try and trade this, catch it on a dip, and then buy it back lower and sell it and profit. I'm not interested in that. I'm always looking at the much bigger reward on the table, not the crumbs. I want my right to be, I want to be at $1 million by the end of the decade without any drama, stresses, not having to worry at all. This is not a stock to trade. It just like Apple, it's a stock to own. Let's carry on with this.
You sell out right now.
No, I mean, what I'm trying to say, to be clear here, is, look, you're going to, at some point next year, I think you are going to run into an issue where you're going to need to see a return on investment for the money you're putting in. And so if you can think about Microsoft, right? They cut estimates after they reported the June quarter. They cut estimates for the following quarter after they reported the September quarter. So at a certain point, and they talked about at their Ignite conference that we've hit a wall potentially. Have we hit a wall potentially with scaling loss? So I think at some point you're going to get a pause to digest this. I think NVIDIA revenues will double over the next several years again from here because you've still got a ways to go to build out the AI infrastructure.
Exactly.
I'm just saying you've got to be honest that nobody saw this being an issue. The names we like Amazon. They had a really great quarter. We see a solid e-commerce season coming up. We're looking into areas like software, because if you do have a cutback in what you need to spend for AI CapEx, that should benefit companies. We like names like Oracle. We think next year it's going to be about networking all of this AI infrastructure together and having enterprises get access to it. So
enterprise is what it's all about. And I have made this statement, and I'm going to make it again. Every 7 years, the S&P is expected to double. And you can see how well I've done from $5,000 already, 131. That's where I started from. And I do believe that because of the AI explosion, we're going to get a triple by the end of the decade. This is how I'm going to get to $1 million. And if anyone just wants to ask me in the chat, can you share with me your $1 million strategy? I've got a little chart which I can just bring up if anybody wants to see it, how I know I'm going to get to $1 million by not selling anything, by just simply doing what I'm doing, then please ask me. Right, I've got some more news. I'm going to go to Jensen Huang in a second for an exclusive just out. Most of you would not have seen this, so I'm very excited to share this with you. Let me bring you some more news. We're trying to get to 100 likes, because if we do that, YouTube will share this video out and will get suggested, and that'll be very exciting. So for the next 10 seconds, just 10 seconds, are you ready? The funky music. Let's see if we can get to 100 likes live on the show, so YouTube suggest out the content, all right? Because this is good news for our favorite stocks here. There's 162 watching. We know only 50% can actually engage because they're not signed in, but 171. We're very close now to get 100 likes. There are more than one. I've got to refresh the screen. So 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. We're now at, I'm only going to do this one more time, then we're going to carry on, but I really want to get this news out. 49. Remember, this does not make me any money at all. Going live like this is not making me money. I shared with you the NVIDIA earnings the other day. I earned about $130 after tax, yada yada yada. I'll be lucky to get $110, and that was months of promotion to make it work as well. So I'm here to help people, not to pump and dump stock, but I'd really appreciate being able to get the word out. So 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Have we gone over 50? I hope so. We're now at 63. Brilliant. We nearly got there. Not quite. If you would keep doing that, that would be great. Right, let me bring you on to some more news, and then we'll talk about, I will bring on Jensen Huang. SENSEI is waiting in the wings for his chart show. You really need that for Monday morning. Trending stocks amid largely steady week for Wall Street. This was just how we discovered the information this morning from last week. This is what this show's about, getting ready for Monday morning. Stocks had mostly a steady week with some volatility in the middle amid geopolitical tensions. The benchmark S&P 500 saw gains in 4 out of 5 sessions and ended up 1.7% higher. That's why I'm back now at just about my all-time high, despite my Coca-Cola being down. So I'm really primed now for $150,000 by the end of the year. Not bad when you think I started with just $5,000, right? Anyway, and I've never shorted a stock. Wall Street saw a bit of a tumble earlier in the week after Ukraine struck Russia with US missiles. We did a video on that. There's going to be no World War III, and I've explained why. Investors were also focused on U.S. President-elect Donald Trump's nominations for his upcoming administration, which, of course, he's now completed. He's certainly going to hit the ground running, whether you like him or not. On day one, he's ready to go. Boom, expect a big, big day on day one. It's like everything's ready to go, and it's all going to happen on the first day. You can see it. It's going to be quite dramatic, I would imagine. The rally in Bitcoin. Well, yes, the rally in Bitcoin, but we've seen that start to fall a little bit today. There are some fears around that. A lot of people trying to sell around $100,000. Anyway, what do you think? I'm currently not in it. Amid these developments, the trending stocks of the week included MicroStrategy. Of course, we knew about that. So MicroStrategy buying more was up around 22% in the week, buoyed by bullish crypto sentiment stemming from Donald Trump's presidential election win. The shares, which have jumped 85% since the election day, were unfazed even after Andrew Left's Citron Research said in a post on X that it's betting against the software company. Google was in the spotlight as well. Oh, hang on a minute. Why isn't that moving up and down? Oh, there we go. Google's in the spotlight after the U.S. Justice Department proposed major changes to search engine Google, including a forced sale to its Chrome web browser. Spirit Airlines, we talked about that. NVIDIA, this is what I want to talk about, and SMCI reported that its fiscal third quarter results and guidance that topped expectations, highlighting its dominance in the artificial intelligence spending boom. The chip maker confirmed that Blackwell production is in full swing, with demand expected to exceed supply for several quarters in fiscal 2026. Don't own it, just hold it. 197 watching now. Come on, guys. We must have 100 likes now, and we'll start getting suggested on YouTube just in time for SENSEI's show. 73 likes. We're nearly there. That'd be really great if you could get this suggested. 200 watching now. Brilliant. Supermicro Computer shares rebound 65% this week after the company hired a new auditor and filed a plan to come into compliance with NASDAQ listing requirements. Okay, I'm going to do something now. I'm going to try and do something, and let's see if I can. I've made a lot of money this year, and many of you have talked about when am I going to do another cash giveaway. I'd love to give some money away. I really would. So what I want to do a little test to see if I'm able to pick up the metrics so I can actually give one of you a cash prize. Would you like that? Would anybody want to win a cash prize? Okay, I like giving money away, so let's see. What I'm going to do, I want to see if I can pick up this engagement measurement so I can then see, and then I can do a lottery. I can do like a lottery and draw a name, a subscriber out of the hat or something like that. So what I want to do, and I can see if the numbers go up, I want to see if I can measure the shares. So if you look underneath the video, I have a way to do subscribers and pull names out of a hat and so on and so forth. If you can, when you've liked, you have to be a subscriber to do this. But click the share button. If everyone shares this on your social media, your email, a text, whatever, I want to see if I can identify which subscribers are sharing using my analytics. If I can, what I'm going to do is work a way of putting a poll, a lottery, and draw from those that's shared, and then I can give away a cash prize. All right? Anyway, just try that out. See if that works. Anyway, we're just about to bring Jensen Huang on to the show. So just before I do, I've got this just out a few hours ago. I want to share this story with you. Will NVIDIA's Blackwell AI chips deliver? This is the big question, right? Will they deliver? Let's read down. NVIDIA has become the world's most valuable company, surpassing the likes of Microsoft and Apple on the back of its artificial intelligence chips. And its latest generation of Blackwell chips could be its biggest moment yet. Wedbush Securities analyst Dan Ives has dubbed the launch as the LeBron of chip releases, predicting a massive demand trajectory for NVIDIA's latest chips. The fate of the company's newest chips seemed to be in trouble after production issues. You remember we reported some news. People were very concerned about NVIDIA chips and the racks overheating just before earnings. You may remember that. We reported on that and we debunked a lot of it. Anyway, the chip giant didn't address the issue during the company's third quarter earnings call. No, they never mentioned that, assuring investors that Blackwell was in full production after a successfully executed mass change and that the company would deliver more Blackwells this quarter than it had previously estimated. According to finance chief Colette Kress, NVIDIA has shipped 13,000 GPU samples to customers in the third quarter. Chief Executive Jensen Huang said that the Blackwell shipment could already be measured in billions. As you see from all of the systems that are being stood up, Blackwell is in great shape, said Huang. I've got Jensen Huang on an interview that many of you have not seen. It's only been out a couple of hours. It's an exclusive, so I'm going to bring that to you in a moment. Not exclusive to me, an exclusive interview to Fox, and I have it here. I'll bring that after this. I think Blackwell is well positioned to drive NVIDIA's future growth, and NVIDIA will continue to benefit from the major expansion of the data center market, said Hunter Wolf Research. NVIDIA clocked its in third quarter revenue 35.08 billion. The company's data center segments accounted for the majority of that, 30.77 billion. And I've got a world exclusive that I'm going to bring to you in a second. Oh, hang on a minute. Listen in.
John F. donated $5 through a super chat. I sold my Palantir and bought Google Friday. Hope it wasn't the wrong move. I'm new to this.
I would say that's a very, very good move, actually, John F. Thank you for your super chat, because Google is much better value than Palantir. Alex Karp is great. The product is great, but it's overbought, a bit like Tesla when it first came out. He's too rock and roll, the whole hairdo, the whole thing. And I think you buying Google is a much more assured long-term plan, lot less risky, still plenty of growth, but most importantly, by far much better value. And if you don't buy value, then what are you doing investing? Really, it's all about value. So thank you for that super chat. GB Original said, wrong move, John. I do not agree. It depends on his understanding of the stock. It depends on his financial position. If he's made a great profit, which he has, then why not? Google is still by far a better value stock. So to take profit from one that's overvalued to buy one that's undervalued is what Warren Buffett does all the time. And it's what I do all the time. And I've grown from 5,000 to 131. So I think it's a great move. Of course, people will always tell you, those that are married to the stock and think they're in a fan club, they'll always tell you it's the wrong thing to do. Remember, I only own the S&P, so I always tell you the truth. People that tell you something's rubbish or great very often own it or short it, and you can never know. Are they just trying to promote the stock? Remember, I rank number one for most of these stocks. If you type into YouTube, SMCI stock, NVDA stock, I rank number one for most stocks. Now, before I bring you Jensen Huang's interview, just to let you hear this, I've made a video which I honestly, if there was any video that I've ever wanted to recommend to everybody, it would be this. And remember, it's not about me making money on the video. I can tell you now, this video that I've made has made 1,000 views, and I've earned about $5. So it's not about that. But I strongly believe that this is the best stock you can own to do with NVIDIA, chips, AI, Elon Musk, Donald Trump, power, war in Russia, everything. There's one stock that is about all of that. And most of you have missed it because it's not sexy, it's not rock and roll, doesn't come with a fancy hairdo like Alex Karp. But this absolutely is it. It's Texas Pacific Land. I'm just going to go on to the interview now, so stand by. Jensen Huang, that's coming up right after this. This is the best stock you can buy. I covered this right at the beginning of its growth, told everybody that this is going to double and double and double, and it did, and it did, and it did. And I didn't buy one single share of it because I own the S&P, and now I own it because it's in the S&P. And in fact, I brought you the news that it would enter the S&P a day before it was declared, because I'm surrounded by millionaires and one billionaire in Dallas who told me. So there you go. Now, why I'm so excited about it is it's basically owning America, basically owning Texas. All right, I'm going to give you the link for this because Elon Musk, Donald Trump, they're going to put solar panels, data centers, power structure to power AI, you name it, it's all going on the Permian Basin. Here is the video after. There's a whole playlist as the best ever stock. Then there's a full analysis. If you basically go on the homepage of the channel, you can see all of it, right? Also, I made you a playlist, and if you simply go to the playlist and sort by last video added, it'll come to it there somewhere there. Oh, there you go. Texas Pacific Land. There are 10 videos, so you can go and check that out. But that is the greatest thing you can buy right now. And if you've never heard of it and you're thinking, what the hell is he talking about? Well, have you ever seen a chart like this? Bearing in mind, it has no expenses, no debt, No short term, no long term. You simply own the land that all the businesses work upon. So you can't lose money. Look at this for a chart. 22,142. And I've been calling it all the way through. 22,000. Forget NVIDIA, forget Palantir, forget Tesla, forget Bitcoin. Own the United States of America. You're going to make some serious money. And the millionaires and billionaire friends all around me have been buying it. And I've been telling everybody about it. And kept saying, I'm not going to buy it because I'm not going to influence it. I'm not going to pump it. I'm just telling you about it. All right. Anyway, let's go into Jensen Huang's interview as we wrap this up, because SENSEI is waiting to come on the show and do your charts for the upcoming week. 224 watching now. We might just about have 100 likes. 100. Now we're getting suggested on YouTube, just in time for me to bring Jensen Huang live onto the show. You've not seen this before. Here it is. Let's go. It's a world exclusive.
Joining us now in a Fox Business exclusive is NVIDIA founder and CEO Jensen Huang. Jensen, great to have you on the show. Thanks so much for joining us.
Nice to see you, Liz. It's great to be here.
Great to have you. The superlatives used to describe not just your earnings, but your outlook ranged from, I was writing these down, full steam, full throttle, incredible. But the headline really emerges that you guys have a problem most CEOs would love to have. Demand for two of your products, right? Both your Hopper chip and the orders for your new Blackwell chip far exceed the supply you have. What's the most important step you guys are taking to speed up the process to fill these orders?
Well, first of all, I appreciate that. Hopper and Blackwell are two just magnificent computing systems. And what they've done is these two computing systems has really reinvented computing altogether. From software that was written by humans running on CPUs to now machine learning, creating these neural networks that make possible artificial intelligence running on our GPUs. And so as the world modernizes the data centers, $1 trillion of data centers around the world, the demand is just incredible. Mm-hmm. And so we're ramping both of these platforms incredibly hard. We had a record quarter this last quarter. We guided to a record quarter next quarter. We're going to go from $0 billion of Blackwell to many billions of dollars of Blackwell. And so it's going to be an incredible thing, but the demand is just incredible.
Yeah. I'm so interested to know some numbers. How big is the backlog for, I guess, both the Hopper and the Blackwell system, the successor that a lot of people want to see? Are you seeing any customer behavior, Jensen, that says, you know what, we're going to wait for the newer Blackwell model?
Well, people are modernizing their data centers, and so they just needs to get going. And what I advise people to do is that, and they are doing that, which is we're going to create new systems every single year. Buy what you need that year. There'll be something new that you can buy next year, and then you'll just cost average your way through. The reason why it's cost averaging is if we increase the performance every single year, effectively you're reducing your cost for any amount of computation that you want. Instead of the classical old data centers, we're going to, several $100 billion of capex each year will go into these machine learning based and AI based systems. And so we have hundreds of billions of dollars of IT systems that we're going to have to go build over the next several years.
I think the number's been put out there for all these companies, whether they are tech or just basic enterprise, ramping up and spending on AI is something like $350 billion. But let me tackle the hyperscalers first, meaning the 800-pound gorillas in the AI space who are desperate for your chips. Meta, Google, Microsoft, SoftBank. I would love to know how orders are filled, meaning who gets preference? I mean, does it go by who ordered first or by the size of the customer?
Well, if you don't place an order, it's hard for us to fulfill it. And so most of them have placed orders. We try to be fair with everyone so that they can all get their AI infrastructure up and running. We also make sure that their infrastructure is ready. And so between us and them, there's no sense shipping computers if the data center and the power and the readiness of the system is not there. And so we work very, very closely with all of our hyperscalers. We've been planning for this for some time. And I think at this point, everybody has demonstrated, everybody has stood up their AI infrastructure, the Grace Blackwell systems. I think OCI has shown pictures of it. Google has shown pictures of it. Dell and CoreWeave just showed a picture. I think it was last night, and Satya at his conference announced that they're going to have previews for their customers here pretty soon, and they've got their system up and running, and so everybody's really proud of the systems they've stood up, and we're all just racing to get there.
Yeah, and we're talking about hundreds of thousands of these, and people are dying to get their hands on them. Can I just get some clarity on the question about the overheating? This report over the weekend, there was in the information this report that said that some of these were overheating. Can you just tell me if that was an issue? If it's true, was it an issue basically with the Blackwell chip design, a rack problem, or was it simply that the data centers were not built to the right specs?
It's a non thing. It's probably somebody who heard somebody doing engineering, integrating our systems into their data centers. In the beginning, there are all kinds of engineering issues, but these are normal things. We're just doing engineering. We know that the Grace Blackwell systems work, and we know that all of the technology now works because we now demonstrated 4 of them standing up. We have lots of them working at our company. We have lots of them working within our customers' companies, and so we're very confident, and we're in good shape with Grace Blackwell production ramp. But it's still, we have thousands of engineers doing, all kinds of things. So I'm not sure what they heard, but it's a non-thing.
Well, it's a long way from 32 years ago when you founded the company with just a few employees and a dream. And as you begin to really see this come to incredible fruition, at least when it comes to generative AI, I'm so interested to know about pricing.
This interview was a couple of hours ago.
How do you view pricing? Because if you're having trouble, because you did say into few quarters for fiscal year 2026, that you would see some issues with filling these orders. How can you keep the price the same, and will it rise?
We always do pricing based on the value delivered. And so we're very rigorous with respect to the simulation of these AI factories. In a lot of ways, the way to think about this, Liz, is here's this machinery, this big, huge machinery, and you apply energy to it, and what comes out of it is AI. We call it generative AI. In a lot of ways, it's kind of like generating electricity in the last industrial revolution. And there are all these machinery, these large machinery called AC generators, and they produce electricity. We're now producing this miracle called artificial intelligence.
You said that you're transforming, and AI is transforming every industry, every company out there, all around the world. And we see that. We definitely see that. But you have some of the loudest voices now in Silicon Valley. I'm thinking Mark Andreessen, the venture capitalist from Andreessen Horowitz, saying AI has hit a wall, it's plateaued, it can't go further right now. And he named 2 reasons. He said due to both the lack of enough GPUs and then the training data. It's almost like he was pointing the finger at NVIDIA, that you guys aren't getting these out quickly enough. What do you say to that?
Well, our demand is greater than our supply, and so we need to get more out. And so we work with thousands of startup companies, and they're called AI native companies. From the ground up, they're built to be an AI company. From the ground up, this is a company that would develop capabilities and new products and services that are made possible because of AI. And we're working with thousands of them, and it's hard to at this moment keep capacity and infrastructure available for every one of them. And so we're working super hard to get there as fast as we can, which is the reason why we're ramping Blackwell so hard. With respect to AI, there's a fair amount of discussion about scaling laws, and the scaling law basically says the larger the model, the more data that you train it with, and the more computing therefore you need, the more effective the AI becomes. And so that's we're kind of on our back foot with respect to the amount of demand that's out there, but we're running as fast as we can to get the supply out there.
Well, it feels like you're not on your back foot.
2 minutes left to go.
Standing pretty tall and holding ground because you are able to just crush it on earnings, and your outlook is pretty impressive too. You talked about growing customer bases in India, and obviously, you will have a situation where you have to hold back on China, depending on what the regulations are here in the United States. But I'm interested to know if you're hearing from the Middle East. They have had some real ambitions here.
listen, in just about every single country, and it's sensible, they now realize that their nation's data, their language, whatever their the language happens to be, their language, their digital language encodes their nation and their people's knowledge, history, and culture. And they now realize that they have to take that digital data and turn it into their nation's intelligence, and that they can't wait for someone else to come do it for them, that they have to do it themselves. The success that we've enjoyed is largely in the United States, but over time, and very quickly, whether it's in the West or in the East, we're going to see just about every single country jumping onto this AI revolution, this age of AI.
As we finish up, what do you say to people who are very concerned about this? You hear them and they believe that AI is going to turn us into digital slaves and that the machines will rise and control all of us. You've had these discussions before. What's your gut reaction to that?
AI can do a lot of our tasks, but they can't do 100% of our jobs. That's the big idea. The big idea, the idea that AI would somehow do 100% of somebody's job is very, very unlikely and quite frankly impractical for any time near any time in the horizon. What is very likely is that AI will do 20, 30, 40% of 100% of the jobs in the world. So what that means is that AI is going to revolutionize and transform everybody's jobs. And it's really important that everybody should learn how to use AI. They're not going to lose their jobs to AI. They're going to lose their jobs if it happens. They're going to lose their jobs to someone who uses AI. And so that's the most practical way of thinking about it. And for the foreseeable future, that's absolutely going to be true. And jump on AI. I would encourage everybody to use it. And if you haven't had a chance to use ChatGPT, use Perplexity, use Gemini. These are incredible. Use Claude. These are incredible AIs. I use that every single day.
Yes, I would imagine you do. Just don't replace newscasters and journalists, please, please.
Okay, now then, just before we finish, we have SENSEI waiting on the line, ready to start his 3 o'clock show, which is in 6 minutes' time. He's going to do the charts for you, not only for NVIDIA, for SMI. Remember, he's like me as well. He has the same outlook, not to pump and dump stock. We're not selling videos, doing this to provide a service. That's why we're here. So if you want to know the buy zone, the sell zone, the support levels, the technicals, he'll do your chart personally, just for you. Answer all your questions just for you, live on the show. That starts in 5 minutes' time. SENSEI even might be in the chat any moment now. I don't know if SENSEI is in the chat. Is he here? Hopefully any moment now, SENSEI will come into the chat. He's obviously setting up his show, about to go. Now then, just before I wrap up, I want to tell you about an extra service that we've got, which I think you're really going to enjoy. And it's just at the very beginnings of the service. It's going to get a lot better. As our channels grow, we now have a network of channels. Yeah, there he is. Great stuff. I'll send you to SENSEI in a second. We now have potentially a 24-hour radio service of the latest news, inside information, getting news from CEOs, getting news from all the people that I speak to. As you know, I have lots of CEOs, hedge fund managers, and so on. And I'm now providing a 24-hour stream. It's on trial and test at the moment. This is it. It's free for everyone to watch and listen to and take part. People are using it as background radio and all the rest of it. Also a communication, talking to each other. Also, you can alert me 3 o'clock in the morning and there's something going on. I need to make a video on Bitcoin at 3 o'clock in the morning, whatever. I might not answer. I might be asleep, but you never know. So here is my X and is my Instagram if you want to follow my trades. But here is the extra channel. Here is the extra channel, right? We've just upgraded this. This is what it looks like just a few moments ago. I stopped it because I'm doing lots of multiple tests. But you'll see here, you can see, look, there's the S&P chart. There's the technical analysis telling you that we've got a buy zone, a buy rating on the S&P. There's news. This news changes every 24 hours. So we've got the top stories. There's 246 headline news there, which changes every 24 hours. Across the top, you'll see a ticker with news. This is the new videos that are coming out. So if I've reported something new and recorded something, it will be updated all the time. That's live on my channel. Underneath, you'll see all the tickers. There's the Bitcoin price. There's the Bitcoin where we're telling you whether it's a buy zone, a sell zone, support level, and all that kind of stuff. And this is going to get more and more. There's only a few pages, but it's going to get more and more involved, more developed, and so on and so forth. Plus, not only that, but I source great stories. You can hear it now.
So I'm told. Of course, we are not going to be getting out of this by engineering our way out of it. This doesn't...
So you're hearing live chat, live talk, great conversation. I'm all the time finding great interviews to share with you, to put on this channel live 24 hours a day. It's like a 24-hour radio show.
But then we've also got billions of people living day to day.
See that? And you never know what's coming next. As we develop it, I'll be adding... I'll be saying, coming up next, we've got a Bitcoin interview. We've got a world exclusive with Jensen just out. So you don't need multiple streams, multiple channels, multiple sources. I'm bringing all this to you. And because I'm ranking now for more and more stocks, #1 in the world, I'm ranking #1 above Meet Kevin, who's got 2 million subscribers on half of the stocks that I do. So basically, you can be in the chat of this show. As this was running, there was the live chat down the outside. You can be in the live chat saying, Martyn, there's a breaking story about Bitcoin. Can you cover it? And if I'm awake, of course, I can come back on, I can cover it. People are asking questions. And what makes it even better, not only is it viewable by everyone, listenable by everyone, what we've done, and we made the decision to provide quality rather than quantity, and rather than benefiting me. It's costing me money to run this 24 hours a day, but it's I've got service now being put in and stuff like that to improve the systems, backup power, backup internet, and so on. But I, again, want it to be the best service, not the best for me. So what we've done, we decided to make it members only to chat. Everyone can listen, everyone can watch, but it's members only to chat. And it's only 99 cents. But by doing that, it stops bots, trolls, people coming in going, buy Bitcoin today, it's going to go to $1 million, and they're just talking crap. We don't want that. We want just real investors. We've got very large investors here. Some multimillionaires, as well as some people with just $1. And we want the chat to be helpful and useful, not full of idiots talking nonsense. So I don't mind apologizing. We did put a members only on the chat. It's 99 cents. There is the extra channel. I've put it in the chat there for you. You might want to subscribe, check it out. It will be going live again later today. It's going to improve. It's not on air 24 hours at the moment. It's being improved all the time. Over the next coming weeks, it'll get better and better. But we have SENSEI in the chat for you now, and SENSEI is going to do your charts for you. Make sure you go and check out Texas Pacific Land on the homepage of the channel. If you, I don't know what else to say, quite frankly. I've said it's the best stock you could possibly own, 22,000%, and no one is even talking about it. No one's covering it. No one's paying any attention to it. There's no media on it whatsoever. It's internal, and I'm sharing it with you because you've all missed it. All right. Now then, it's time for SENSEI's show. He's live in the chat. I'm going to automatically send you all there now, and SENSEI is going to do an hour or more of your charts, your technical charts, to help you prepare for tonight. It's not tomorrow, it's tonight, 7 p.m. Central. 4 hours from now, the markets go live, NVIDIA goes live. I'm looking to buy more of the S&P on a dip. I've got $59,000 to spend. I'm looking for Coca-Cola to dip by January the 1st, or a 15% profit to buy back the S&P. So I'm going to be watching Sensei's show as well and asking questions and asking him to do charts for me. So here is Sensei's show. I see I've already pinned it to the top. There it is in the chat. You can either click on that, or it'll take you there as I end this show. Because what I do is I go over to this. We've had 1,228 of you through the stream, which is absolutely great. We got over the 100 likes. I am going to see now if I've got the share analytics, and if I am learning who is sharing, I'm going to work a way of giving cash prizes to those that share the videos. So keep doing that, and as I find out a way to do that, to see who's done it, I will be able to reward you for that, because I really want to thank you for doing it. All right, I've made some money. I want to give some away. Only seems right. I mean, I don't have to, but I just want to, right? Okay, so let me, I've given everyone the link to that. Let me send you over to Sensei, who's waiting in the wings. Sensei, good luck. Have a great show. There's a wonderful audience here. A lot of members. You may notice in the chat, 98% of our live viewers are members, more than most channels combined. Very proud of that. We have the highest engagement rate in the world of live viewers to members. There is the membership link. There are many, many perks if you want to be a member of our show. Many of our streams now are members only. Many of our videos are members only. Our interviews with CEOs are members only. You miss all of those. And all the rest of it. All right, okay. I think we are done. I've pressed all the right buttons. Yes, I have. Just checking that. Sensei is waiting to go, so I should probably end so Sensei can start his show. You've got the link in the chat, or go on the homepage and find it. But that's it from me. Let me clear the decks. Let's go over to here. And let me end today's show. I'm going to roll the credits because we have some super chats to celebrate as well. So let me just do that right now. And some new members. So let me have a look. New subscribers. We got quite a lot in this show. Abol, DSG, Daniel. We had Barry, Latosha, Deck, Rafi, Yong Hoon, Gabriel, Kyle 2, and John F. gave me a super chat as well. Thank you very much indeed. You are our superstars for the day. That's it from me. Thank you very much for joining me. I hope you enjoyed this NVIDIA SMI special. Brought you some interviews you've never seen before. But now it's time for you to get the charts as we send you over to Sensei. I'll be joining him there as well. Have a wonderful time with Sensei. I will then see you back after that on our 24-hour extra channel service. You've got the link to that. As Sensei ends, it'll take you there. Test it out, see what you feel. Give me some suggestions of what you'd like to see, interviews you'd like to hear from. If not, I'll see you back in the morning. That's it from me. Have a lovely evening. Make some money. Good luck to all of you. Until next time, thank you, Joe. Take care of yourselves and each other.